No. The question that every beginner and every noob asks themselves, is this gonna be too hard to learn? The answer is no. Fighting games are objectively a difficult genre to get into. And especially so if you haven't gotten bitten by the bug that is fighting games quite yet. Because let's face it, there's a lot going on in fighting games. Frame data, neutral, combos, defense, offense, matchup knowledge. I mean, this list will go on and on and on and on and on. But to answer the question of, are they impossible to get into? No. So today, I want to go over some of those myths that a lot of beginners or noobs or just people outside of the fighting game sphere like to spew all over the internet and kind of set the record straight. Number one is that, what's the point if everybody I play online is a god? That's just not true. 9 times out of 10, the people you're fighting are also shit at the game. It's the beauty of something I like to call skill-based matchmaking. Now, somebody might have told you that in order to get into a fighting game, that you need to go into the lab and never touch ranked and play quick match and get your feet wet and fight him instead of everybody else so that way you can actually figure out how the game works. While all of that is well and good, okay? But in reality, if you are brand new to fighting games, the only reason you should be going into the lab right away is to figure out which character you want to play. And then after that, you should immediately go into ranked and do your placement matches. Because once you get through those placement matches and you know where you're at in the game, you will only be fighting other people of your skill level. And yes, Smurfs do happen. Smurfs are in every game. That is just unavoidable. But no, every single person you fight is not going to be a god at the game. That's just not how it works. Number 2, combo notation doesn't make any sense. Okay, bear with me here. If you don't understand combo notation, I'm going to do something for you real quick. You see this? This is your combo notation. Right there. People see inputs like 2H and 6M and 5L, and they think to themselves, what the hell am I looking at? Well, here, I'll tell you right now. L means light attack, M means medium attack, and H means heavy attack. And then, like, the 5s and the 6s and the 4s and the 2s, that's your directional input. And you can just look down at your keyboard's numpad or pull out your phone's number pad and just figure out where you need to be there. Oh, 5H, that's neutral, heavy. You don't do anything with directions, you just press the heavy button. Oh, 2M, that's a low medium kick or a low medium punch, whatever it is. It's a low because you're holding the down on the key. Notation is pretty much universal outside of games like Tekken. Once you learn the notation in one game, you can pretty much figure out the notation of any game rather quickly. Number 3, the combos look way too complicated and there's no way I'm going to remember any of them. I actually have good news about this one. You don't need them. Listen, and this might sound like a shocker, but you do not need combos in order to learn a fighting game. Combos will come later. Combos come with time. What you should be working on when you're first getting into fighting games is moving around the stage and a little bit of offense and defense. Because honestly, all a combo really is the reward after making a good play. It's guaranteed damage after you did something good in the neutral. And yes, some combos are insane and look crazy and super overwhelming. But 9 times out of 10, those combos aren't even really worth it to do in a match. Some would argue games like Marvel vs. Capcom would be like, well, no, that's not exactly true, but that's Marvel vs. Capcom. Most of the time when you're playing the game online, you're gonna see a combo be used to skip some neutral. Because imagine if you had a game with 0 combos. Instead of only having to win 5 neutral interactions in order to get your damage off and win the round, now you have to win 25 different interactions in order to do it. And trust me, it still happens. I can't tell you the amount of times I've played Tekken, and I won an entire round off of poking alone. Combos are the flashiest and the most viewed things from fighting games. When you're watching a tournament and you hear the crowd roaring, they're not roaring because of an insane combo. They're really roaring about the situation that led up to the combo. Like, that dude just blocked a hell sweep. That dude did a sick jump in cross up. That guy blocked something that nobody knew was coming. These games are about mental stack and reading your opponent. Combos are just something that you practice in the training mode until you can do it with your muscle memory. Because guess what? Your muscle memory is better than your active brain while you're playing the game. Number 4, your worth as a fighting game player is based on your ranked performance. No. No. Listen, ranked is important because it's the only tool you might have as a player outside of tournaments to really test your skill. But other than that, your worth in fighting games is whatever you make it to be. Because listen, if every single time you play the game, you boot it up and you do the same thing and you win every time, you're not learning anything and you're not improving at all. But if every time you get on, you lose and then you go in and you figure out why you lost, or maybe sometimes you find out in the middle of the match why you lost, you are immediately better right there than you were 5 minutes ago. Ranked is a very good thing because it tells you where your skill bracket is, but your rank does not determine whether or not you are worthy or not. There's no max rank or minimum rank for entering a tournament. You can enter and compete as you please no matter what level that you're at. Your rank does not determine your worth. And number 5, nobody wants to do the practice. This is the only myth on this list that has a semi-truth to it. Listen, I get it, okay? Not everybody wants to work a full-time job and come home and have to do even more work in order to be good at the game that you want to play. However, if you do want to get good at this game, eventually you are going to have to practice something. Have you ever played Valorant? Have you ever played Rainbow Six Siege? Have you ever played any of these very competitive shooters? Well, guess what? If you've ever watched a tournament or you've ever watched some really high-level players play the game, those guys practice setups. Those guys will go into a map by themselves and they will sit there and practice lineups to figure out where their stuff can go. If you want to get better at any game, if you want to learn about any game, then you have to, and in fact, you'll want to do the practice. We're in a world of casual gamers, and we're also in a world where gamers kind of just want things handed to them. It's up to you to be the difference there. You have to want to do the work, and you need to get over the idea that you are owed anything. These games don't owe you shit except for the gameplay itself. If you didn't spend $60 to block, you might have wasted $60. Fighting games as a genre are just naturally hard and naturally sweaty. I don't think they'll ever truly appeal to the greater casual gaming market. But if you want to get into fighting games, remember that every one of these myths are not true. The only thing holding you back is yourself. All right, that was Fighting Game Mythbusters. Bye.